Hey y'all, if you know somebody that's missing, just reach out to them if they haven't been excused. But I remember there being a lot more than just um what is it, like 14 senators here? So can someone remind me what is quorum again? Like what number it is?
It should be half plus one, but I don't know what our total number is.
Right, right. I believe right now we have around 25 senators. I could be wrong. Let me check. Oh, no, we have 27. Currently we have.
Yeah, so quorum technically is 14 and a half. As the chair, you can choose to round up or round down. Either way, we do have quorum now because there is 15, I guess, unless your 15 and a half rounds up to 16. But I think that there's an argument that you have quorum.
Yep, that makes sense. Okay. Um, yeah, 15 is fine. All right. Let's move into appointments. Senator Wahidullah?
Yes. Hi, Chair. Hopefully you can hear me better. I just switched to my laptop instead of my phone. But before we move into appointments, if you permit, if we have time, I'd like to motion onto the agenda and add a resolution to support the BHCE onto new business, please. Stuff.
Can I ask why this wasn't submitted earlier?
Specifically, Senator Butler, just I believe she can elaborate on that better. I just know that she forwarded about it today. But yeah.
Yeah, I just
Senator
still
Butler?
needed I just still needed consulting in time to review the bill or the resolution before it was 24 hours notice.
All right. I'll allow it. So, uh, there's been a motion to add um, a resolution to support the Black Heritage Cultural Experience onto the agenda under new business. Do we have a second? Senator Malhus?
Second.
Seconded by Senator Malhus. We are now discussion. Senator Kada?
Call to question.
Question has been called. Do we have any objections?
So,
All right, seeing none, motion passes. It can now be added under new business. Thank you, Senator Butler. Yeah, so let's go into appointments. Senator McClintock?
Can I add something to appointments?
Yes.
Can I motion to add the resignation of Leslie Loaiza as External Director of Transfer Student Alliance? I can add her name to the chat.
Yeah. Go ahead, add her name. There's been a motion to add the resignation of Leslie Loaiza as the you said external chair of Transfer Student Alliance?
External Director of TSA.
External director of the Transfer Student Alliance. Do we have a second? Senator Wahidullah?
Second.
Also, I feel like I'm butchering your last name, babe. Can you please remind me how to pronounce it?
Yeah, you're doing fine right now. But just it's just Wahidullah. You can just say that.
Wahidullah. Okay, thank you. All right, seconded by Senator Wahidullah. Um, we are now in discussion. Senator Kada?
Call to question.
Question has been called. Do we have any objections?
Consent.
All right, seeing none, the resignation has now been added onto the agenda. Y'all, they're playing some EDM around the corner. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Sorry about that, y'all. My roommates. All right, we're still in appointments. Senator Siddiqui,
I motion to bundle and approve all appointments and resignations on the agenda.
all right, there's been a motion to bundle and approve all appointments and resignations on the agenda. Do we have a second? Senator McClintock?
Second.
Seconded by Senator McClintock. We are now discussion. Senator Lankrani.
Call the question.
Question has been called. Do we have any objections?
Consent.
All right, seeing none, motion passes. Moving on, let's move into minutes and allocations. Senator Kara,
Motion to bundle and approve all minutes and allocations.
there's been a motion to bundle and approve all minutes and allocations. Do we have a second? Senator McClintock,
Second.
seconded by Senator McClintock. We are now discussion. Senator Suk,
Call the question.
question has been called. Do we have any objections? All right, seeing none, motion passes. Moving on. All right, let's move into old business. The first being a bill to amend the Zero Waste Committee legal code, authored by Senator Suk in collaboration with Senator Ganesh. Senator Suk, you have the floor.
Yeah, another legal code change, nothing crazy. Zero Waste Committee reached out to me and their changes are reflected on the bill.
All right, thank you. Does anyone have any questions, motions they would like to make? Senator Siddiqui?
I motion to table a bill to amend the Zero Waste Committee legal code for 1 week.
Wait,
I believe this legal code, this bill already has been tabled for at least.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. I was
We're currently in old business. So would you like to rescind your motion?
Yeah, I rescind my motion. Sorry.
It's okay. Senator Kara?
Motion to pass a bill to amend the Zero Waste Committee legal code.
All right, there's been a motion to pass a bill to amend the Zero Waste Committee legal code. Do we have a second, Senator Lankarani?
Second.
Seconded by Senator Lankarani. We are now discussion. Senator Amin?
Call the question.
Question has been called. Do we have any objections? Seeing none, motion passes, but I do believe that we have to vote on this. So, hands up for yes to pass this bill. All right. 1, 2, 3. 3 times 4, 12. 14. All right, hands down. Hands up for no.
Can you count how many people were, or like say the
It was
number out
13.
loud?
So it's 13 yes. Hands up for no. Seeing 0. Hands down, abstentions. All right, 1 abstention. It passes. All right. Moving on to a bill to improve internal AS operations. brought forth by Senator Siddiqui in collaboration with Senator Jha. Senator Siddiqui, you have the floor.
Yeah, I have a meeting scheduled with our UCSB Human Resources Manager, or sorry, UCSB Associated Students Human Resources Manager, Lily. So I just still need to meet with her to figure out the language on this bill. I've just been procrastinating it a lot. I know I introduced it last quarter, but I would just ask for this to be tabled for one more week so I can figure out a way to move forward with this.
All right, thank you. All right, Senator Kadal.
Motion to table a bill to approve internal AS operations for 1 week.
There's been a motion to table a bill to improve internal AS operations for a week. Do we have a second? Senator Amin?
Second.
Seconded by Senator Amin. We are now in discussion. Senator McClintock?
Call the question.
Question has been called. Do we have any objections? All right. Seeing none, motion passes to table this for a week. All right, now moving on to a bill to peg AS Judicial Council's honoraria to Senate standing committees, brought forth by Senator Jha in collaboration with Senator Siddiqui. Yeah, Senator Jha, you have the floor.
Thank you, Chair. Given that the ongoing case in the Judicial Council, I would ask you to refer to my previous statement about the reason I think it should be passed. With that said, I ask the Senate to take a vote on the bill today. I yield.
All right. Senator Siddiqui?
I just want to say for the record, I was added to this bill as a second before I was aware of any judicial council case. So my reasoning for supporting this legislation is the same as the first. This was not made because of or due to an ongoing case. I just wanted to clarify that.
All right, thank you for saying that on the record. I believe this was also brought forth like a couple of weeks ago. So thank you for also stating that publicly. Senator Jha?
I reserve my right. I just want to corroborate the statement made by Senator Siddiqui. This bill was started way before everything have started. So with that said, I move to vote on bill to peg AS Judicial Council honoraria to Senate Standing Committee by hand vote.
I'm sorry. Senate Standing Committee hand vote. Okay. I'm sorry. I kind of lost track of your motion. There's been a motion to pass, you said, a bill to peg AS Judicial Council's honoraria to Senate standing committees by hand vote. Do we have a second? Senator Lala?
I believe it was, oh my God, I forgot my correction, but second. It was to vote on, not pass, but yeah.
Oh, thank you, thank you. All right. Thank you for clarifying me. Senator Lala?
Second.
Oh, seconded by Senator Lala. We are now in discussion. Senator Kadal?
Call to question.
Question has been called. Do we have any objections? All right. Seeing none, motion passes. We are now moving into a hand vote. Oh, I see we have a minute taker. I'm now moving you back into. All right, thank you. All right, so hands up for yes to pass the proposed bill. 12, 13, okay, hands down. Hands down. Senator Brennerson. Hands up for no. Abstentions? All right, so that is 14 yes, 0 no, 0 abstentions. The motion passes. All right. All right. Moving into new business. We have a resolution to support the Black Heritage Cultural Experience brought forth by Senator Butler, and seconded by Senator Wahidullah. Y'all have the floor. Senator Butler, you have the floor.
Do you think we can move to something else really quickly and come back to this? I have to take a phone call really quick.
Oh, true, true. Okay. Yeah, we can do that. All right. Let's move into Seems like we pretty much covered everything except for maybe any unit reports. Do you have any unit reports or administrative reports, Senator Jha?
I think the interim executive director Lieberman would like to make a report.
Okay.
Yeah.
Senator Lieberman, I mean, sorry, I'm so used to calling everyone senator. Interim Director Lieberman, you have the floor.
Thank you. Yeah, I understand habit. Yeah, so might be real quick. It was just all elections-based stuff, and just wanted to say that I am coordinating with the Campus Elections Commission and GSA about communications and the ballot itself. And I think Holly maybe mentioned that a message will go out tomorrow. So I wanted to remind folks, message will go out tomorrow about the elections. And that at a certain point, everything will be going forward. Reaffirmations and other things have legal obligations to move forward, and really shouldn't be stopped. But I've also put messages on the AS page, the elections page, and the voting portal, all basically saying that things are on hold, but please check back soon. Yeah, so just a little tidbit for an elections update.
All right, thank you so much. Senator Jha?
Senator Chair, if the interim executive director would take questions, I do have yes, I do have a question in regards to the email conversation I believe started yesterday in regards to ballot placement. I'm wondering if you can offer some more clarification on it.
So what was the question regarding ballot placement?
It's a question about campaign ballot placement.
Oh, the board placement.
Yes.
Oh, you mean the boards being placed kind of face down?
Yes, so from the email chain, it says our ballot needs to be removed, and I'm wondering if there is any updates on it. Can they just be face down, or they have to still be removed?
I believe the recommendation now from elections. Once again, this is not me making decisions. It's just me relaying what conversations with elections that I know about is to place them face down, because the burden of picking them up and moving them elsewhere, where do you store them? How are you carrying them back? That's a lot. So yeah, just place them face down, and we're working with campus facilities management and custodial services so that they don't put them back up. We anticipated that, and yet it still seems like it might be happening. So yeah, just face down is fine.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Actually, a question that I received from a student recently, kind of multi-tiered question, but like, you know, students that have friends that know that they're running may simply see their board put down and then kind of put them back up because they are not aware of the situation. So like I just wonder what elections board will be doing in terms of that. Like if they will still be issuing strikes, even though people that are running are not, actively trying to go against like what has been said, but there's still kind of like that action that could issue a strike. Would you suggest in this case, Interim Director Lieberman, that we maybe continue having conversations with elections board on strikes and what that would mean for candidates?
Yeah, absolutely. I think they understand also, like if it's seen that your board is face down and then all of a sudden it's face up and you know that it should be face down, I'm guessing that they're going to assume that someone you didn't just, you as a candidate, not that you're a candidate, but you, the general you, didn't just put it up because, and that it's a mistake of some sort. So I think they're having leniency and understanding about this. But yeah, just keep the conversation going and say, hey, someone put my board up. I didn't notice it for 12 hours. Just to let you know, because also no one can vote right now. So there's not really, much they can do with that information. But yeah, you just keep it open. I think they're understanding of it, and I can relay this to elections board too.
All right, thank you so much. Another concern that was brought up to me was kind of if candidates aren't allowed to have their boards up in wire campus departments. Just seems to be kind of like a point of confusion. If you could, relay that information to elections board, I'd really appreciate it. Yeah. But I'm kind of, yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I will.
All right, I appreciate it. Senator Lala.
Hey, Director, thanks for speaking to us. I know I've been maybe the most annoying person on this, and I've asked you quite a few questions, and you've always responded promptly and respectfully, so I genuinely really appreciate that. On this part, briefly about board placement, I would just request that I believe I checked in with a few candidates today, and I think someone did send an email to elections board letting them know of this issue, but I genuinely think it's on the part of elections board to have notified this to the student body more generally, because obviously it's a physical space that we all share, and it's not just candidates who might be putting them up. It could be very well be a friend who thinks that they're doing another friend a solid, and I've heard of multiple such instances. So yeah, if you could just pass that concern on, that would be really valuable. Maybe it would be counterproductive to issue something at this point saying that, hey, please don't pick up boards until further notice, because it might get lifted in a few days and I don't know, become counterproductive then. But at least something that elections board should really keep in mind and being extremely cautious in issuing infractions on this. But that was, I suppose, a bit more of a comment. My real question is, it seems like there still is no concrete timeline on when a decision will be made about election procedures moving forward, correct? But would you say, as much as you're able to divulge, obviously, does it rely mostly on the JC proceedings to be had in a few days, or is there decisions elsewhere that will have more of an impact? And by when can we expect some sort of an answer? Thanks again.
Right. Thank you. Yeah, the injunction is the main focus here. Is that once that is lifted and whatever recommendations come out of that, and then when Senate can once again approve things. But just like a little reminder is that some things have to move forward regardless of anything else. And CEC things that are on the ballot will move forward regardless. And the reason that they've been our partners, CEC and GSA in this, have been very patient and are fine with like continuing for a certain amount of time, because we all benefit actually from having the elections together. They used to all be before. I mean, we hadn't combined them. Shoot, when did we combine them? It wasn't when we all went online, was it? So it might have been 2003, around there, 2003, 2004. But we all benefit from an additional turnout because of it. We can just say vote on gold. We can just say, hey, voting is right now for everybody, regardless of who you are as a student, grad or undergrad. All the ballot initiatives are all combined together. CEC goes to undergrad and grad. And so when it's all together, it's better for everybody. But we all have timelines too. So things have to go and eventually make their way to Chancellor Yang and make their way to the UCOP and be approved. So they have to, that has to happen. And at most, the things that can be delayed internally is the candidates. So the reaffirmations have to happen and the C things have to happen. So that's just kind of my advice. So we're waiting on that. We want to do everything together, but everything has to be timely. So just things have to happen quickly for, if any changes are requested from elections board, they will have to institute them just super fast. And that requires testing. Because when you make changes to the ballot, I have to test it, make sure it doesn't break everything. And so I always do that so that, I don't like to make thousands of people angry or upset or disappointed. And so I try my best not to do that. And so the testing will have to take place. So there's no update on timelines, but just the little bit of knowledge that things will move forward eventually. We just hope that things move forward all together.
Got it. So, okay, that's really helpful. And I really don't mean to, pressure with questions. So just as far as you're aware of, there is a possibility that GSA and decisions to be made at the campus level and maybe even affirmations for our undergraduate association might be going forward, but not candidates on the ballot. That's a possibility.
It's definitely it's a possibility. We'd rather not that be the case because that would definitely harm turnout by a lot for both sides.
Sure. Okay. And it's just the undergraduate association which is held to the week 5 deadline, correct? But I believe you told me that has kind of swung around in years past sometimes.
It's moved in the case that sometimes things have been extended.
Sure.
Or technology, breakdown, power outages, a pandemic, let's say. Like those have changed things around a little bit. And GSA always moves. I don't know what GSA's code says what their requirements are, but CEC has requirements to UCOP. So I don't know what week it is, but like it might be 5, it might be 6. I think it might be 5 actually. So we all have kind of deadlines that we need to meet.
Okay, that makes sense. Thanks so much.
All right, thank you. Senator Amin.
Thank you. Thank you, Director Lieberman. I wanted to ask really quickly. So I'm a little bit worried about people's boards and having them face down in the grass because I think it will ruin their board. So if you're gonna be talking to elections, it's my advice that we also tell them to put in an email that candidates should put like a sheet or something over their board so the grass doesn't ruin it or stuff like that. I know for me, I spent a lot of time on my board and I would hate if something happened to it. Like it's a lot of energy. It's a lot of effort.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that's fair. And also we don't want to kill the grass.
Also the grass. Yes.
Yeah. So that's fair. Yeah, I'll bring that up.
All right, thank you. Senator Mahis.
Sorry. I'm just like a little like I don't know. So for like the boards and stuff, since I feel like there's not that many candidates, can we just communicate with it like one of the like let's say like Iman can just send like a text message to all of us to like put like a paper down like for our protection because supposedly shouldn't that like allocated space that we were assigned for our like boards be like for us for our boards so we can just like does the elections board actually need to send us an email to put like something under it or we can just like put a piece of paper under our boards and then the elections board doesn't need because that just seems like extra work for the elections board. Like I don't know if it needs to be like official, like I don't know.
Well, there's only a handful of candidates in this meeting, and elections board has a mailing list for all the candidates, including we were missing a few write-in candidates, so we added them because there were 3, I think, that added near the end of the period. So everyone's on the mailing list now, but they can send that out, and that'll hit everybody essentially, and then so everyone will be on the same page with regards to saving your board and the grass.
Okay.
All right, thank you so much, Sean, for coming in today, and for updating people on what's going on in terms of elections. I would advise that, we move on. Does anyone have any more questions that they would like to ask Interim Director Lieberman? Great. Okay, cool. So now let's move into executive reports. President Broadway is here and would like to give her report. So floor is yours.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I will just be addressing the veto that I issued on Friday, April 18th. So thank you, IVP Pinto, for giving me the floor. It has been brought to my attention that membership rights are not being protected or upheld on behalf of undergraduate students in full as they should be. It is our responsibility to give or take away, or sorry, it is not our responsibility to give or take away these rights to any fee-paying student, which all of us elected officials took an oath to protect when we were sworn in. Last week, there were allegations made on the Senate floor where students have willfully worked to disenfranchise their peers in an effort to control the outcomes of the election. Evidence has been provided to confirm these allegations, which are awaiting adjudication by the Judicial Council. I will not be explaining further any of the allegations or evidence as it is now pending judicial review. I had no choice but to issue a veto on the motion to approve the 2025-2026 spring election ballot in order to preserve our democratic process and preserve the status quo so that Judicial Council can make an impartial decision. My intention with this veto is not just to make sure that the campus is participating in a democratic process for the election, but also to ensure that students have the opportunity to participate in a fair election, as that is the right of every undergraduate student, whether they are a candidate or a voter. Due to time constraints on my end, I will not be taking questions at this time, but I do encourage you all to email me if you have any questions. I would be more than happy to answer them. I also have a Calendly link in my email signature, so if you would prefer to have a meeting with me rather than talk over email or text message, I'm happy to go that route as well. But thank you.
All right, thanks. Let's move into new business. Going back into the resolution to support the Black Heritage Cultural Experience, brought forth by Senator Butler and co-sponsored, supported by Senator Wahidullah. Senator Butler, you have the floor.
Thank you, Chair. Not too much for us all, as it's already late. So over spring break, I took a trip to the South, with the school, with 9 other Black students. And whenever like people will ask me like, how's your trip, Alexa? Like short answer, life-changing. I've never like done EAP or like any travel abroad experiences. This was like, and I never had been to the Deep South. So truly just a different experience for me. But I never felt so immersed, so seen, so acknowledged in my whole life. I've learned lifelong lessons, and I like honestly, this trip made me appreciate UCSB more. That's the short end of my experience from this trip. This trip, unfortunately, has trouble finding funding. I am going to table this bill for a week so I can continue conversation, but I do want to just introduce this first and keep this on you guys' mind and on you guys' heart, especially those who will be an associated students next year when I won't be. And this trip will be happening next year. And one of the lessons that I learned on the trip, and it was just a sentiment of all of these historical places. Um, all of these places were uplifted, sustained, built by the Black community um, that occupied it. Um, and I knew this trip was struggling with funding, but I always thought it was like a university issue rather than like a Senate issue um, or an Associated Students issue. But in fact, like it is the Black community who is the ones who are going to uplift this trip because we're the ones who are fulfilling it. And that's just been a sentiment of all of African American history. Like we're the ones who create the legacy, who uplift the legacy and who sustain it. So I just want to be a part of that. This school has a historic legacy of Black student activism. I'll talk more about like the trip so I can really tell you all about all the really amazing places that I got to see. Um, and then also like a sentiment of this trip that I've felt the whole time is like not only did I get to experience all of these amazing places, these life-changing places, but now everyone that I interact with do too get to hear about the memories and the experience that I've had. So now I'm continuing the legacy of all of these, historical places, not only to Black history and the Black experience, but then also just US history itself too. But I'm gonna table this bill or this resolution for a week. Um, I appreciate my second Senator Wahidullah for supporting me. But yeah, more to come with this bill. But I just wanted to tell y'all I went on this trip and how influential it's been on me.
Thank you so much, Senator Butler. Senator Wahidullah, do you have anything to add?
I believe, yeah, I will. I feel like that what Senator Butler mentioned, I think, was quite explanatory as well as the resolution and stuff. I won't take up too much time, but like, I just wanted to put some smaller comments that, like, not only from this resolution, I do appreciate all the work, especially to show stories that Senator Butler has shared with me, as well as hearing from this resolution as well. And I feel like just a lot of the work that she's been dedicating, especially into this resolution, is very endearing and very touching as well. And I think that not only is just as members of associate students as well as just working in these CSB, it's important to provide these, I feel like, institutionalizing in these projects as well. And I think it's a great opportunity. I think feel free to check it out as well. And I think it's pretty good opportunity as well. And yeah, I have not much to comment right now because I know it's late, but I do feel free to, I think, guys, everyone should take the time to evaluate it and also look over it as well because Senator Butler has put into a lot of work into it, and I feel like that it's a great opportunity as well. And she's been really helpful me just aside from this in regards to my legislation I've been working on, as well as having the opportunity to collaborate with her on this has been really endearing as well. So yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say. But thank you.
All right, thank you. We are now in discussion. Senator Butler.
Motion to table a resolution to support BHCE for 1 week.
There's been a motion to table a resolution to support BHCE for 1 week. Do we have a second? Senator Amin?
Second.
Seconded by Senator Amin. We are now in discussion. Senator Lala?
Call the question.
Question has been called. Do we have any objections? Seeing none, motion passes to table a resolution to support the Black Heritage Cultural Experience for 1 week. All right, let's move into action items. A community member has come today into public forum to request funding. I was wondering if anyone would be interested in motioning that onto the agenda. The exact line items are laid out there. Senator Butler?
Question, Chair. Are you proposing to add this to action items or to pass this?
It it has not been officially added into action items, so we would need someone to motion to add it onto the agenda. And then we would have to go in and discuss and then motion to pass.
Okay. I'd like to motion.
Motion.
Okay, can you
Senator-
call on me again?
Senator Butler, go ahead. Go ahead.
Motion to add ESA conference trip with a total of $5,700. For lodging, 3,000, meals 1,500, travel expenses 1,000, ESA shirts with AS and UC branding $200.
All right, there's been a motion to add the ESA conference trip budget allocation that renders a total of $5,700 under action items. Do we have a second, Senator Lankarani?
Second.
Seconded by Senator Lankarani. We are now in discussion. Senator McClintock?
Call the question.
Question has been called. Do we have any objections? All right. Seeing none, motion passes to add it onto the agenda under action items. So now we are looking at the East African Student Association conference trip. So someone please correct me. I believe that they would need an exception to acquire merchandise in order to receive the funding for that specific line item. Yeah. Senator Butler? Oh, we also do have to state where we would be allocating the money from. I'm unsure if we still have money in unallocated. Does anyone readily have the finance committee budget in front of them or are
Yeah, I can check. Just give me one moment.
okay, thank you so much, Senator Jha. So we'll just check just to make sure like where exactly we can pull that money from, if it is within our power to do so.
So right now we have $37,000 in unallocated.
All right, thank you so much. All right, so if we were to pass this, we would need to make an exception for merchandise. And we would need to state that it would be coming directly from the Senate unallocated account. Senator Cadell?
Okay, please correct me if my language is wrong on this, but motion to allocate $5,700 from Senate unallocated for the EASA conference with an exception for merchandise.
All right, there's been a motion to allocate $5,700 to the East African Student Association conference trip from Senate unallocated. Sorry, I just had a roommate come home, so let me restate my motion. there's been a motion to allocate $5,700 from Senate unallocated with an exception for merchandise to East African Student Association for the purpose of the East African Student Association conference trip. Do we have a second? Senator McClintock?
Second.
Seconded by Senator McClintock. We are now in discussion. Senator Brinderson?
Call the question.
Question has been called. Do we have any objections? All right, seeing none, motion passes, but because this is relating to a financial matter, we do need to vote. So we will now be moving into a hand vote. So hands up for yes to pass this funding. Right. 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Sorry, there were some hands moving around. All right, hands down. Hands up for no.
How many yeses was that?
It was 12. All right, hands up for no. Abstentions? All right, motion passes to allocate $5,700 from Senate and allocated with an exception for merchandise to the East African Student Association for the East African Student Association Conference. All right, let's now move into acceptance of the agenda. Senator Kada?
Wait, actually, just before I make the motion, I was just looking the agenda. I think I was actually the first to do that motion for the allocating the $5,700 just for the sake of the minutes. But motion to approve the agenda.
All right, thank you so much, Senator Kada. We love having checks and balances over here. There has been a motion to approve the agenda. Do we have a second? Or accept the agenda?
Second.
Senator Brinderson? Seconded by Senator Brinderson. We are now in discussion. Senator McClintock?
Call the question.
Question has been called. Do we have any objections? Seeing none, motion passes. Thank you all. I want to open up the floor for any administrative or unit reports. I see that we have some attendees that are or had some attendees that were BCU chairs. Would any of you like to give a report? If so, raise your hand. All right, cool. Seeing as a large portion of our body has since left, I said that we were going to go back into discussion about Senator Iden's report. Raise your hands if you would like to move back into that, because I mean, seeing as we're missing a couple of individuals, including Senator Iden. I just want to make sure that the conversation is respectfully carried forth, but that all involved parties are also here. If anyone just like wants to, just send me like a chat, just being like, yeah, I want to go back into it. I'm open to moving back into discussion regarding the subject. All right. Seeing as we're all tired and it's been a really, really long day, I would definitely like to continue this discussion in a more personal and possibly facilitated manner. Um, I know Marissa has offered and also suggested some questions in the chat earlier. I think this conversation is important and it needs to continue, especially when we talk about bullying and harassment in the space. It is prevalent and we should by no means continue exactly what our governmental bodies are doing in terms of like US politics. And I think restorative justice is an excellent approach. I think what Dr. Marquez has shared earlier about how we engage in this space is really important. And yeah, I just want to show like my continued dedication and also my deepest sorries for all individuals that have been harmed um by the words that have been said. Um, it's really hard to come into contact with this level of bullying and belittlement, and it's not okay at all. Um, but yeah, and I do think that we are at this point where we are ready to kind of close out the space. So if anyone would like to motion for adjournment. Senator Butler.
Motion to adjourn the meeting at 10:34 p.m.
All right, there's been a motion to adjourn the meeting at 10:34 p.m. Do we have a second? Senator Kada.
Second.
Seconded by Senator Kada. We're now discussion. Senator Wahidullah.
Call the question.
Question has been called. Do we have any objections?
Consent.
All right, seeing none, motion passes to adjourn our meeting at 10:35 p.m. We ended 30 minutes early. Let's go. I do want to thank our minute takers, and in the future, if we hold Zoom meetings and y'all need breaks, please let me know because I know the nature of these meetings is a little bit different. You're in a more comfortable environment. But if that needs to change moving forward, please let me know. I would also like to thank all of our staff for being here today, and being very diligent. I feel like being online is a little bit more accessible for everyone. I personally like the platform as just as much as I like being in person. So I feel like either way works for me. But people that need accommodations moving forward, please reach out to me. This is always something that I'm willing to make this space as accessible as possible. Yeah, thanks, Ollie. Appreciate you. The switching between webinar and everything else, I feel like it was pretty smooth, uh, given what we had. But yeah, no, thank you so much for everyone for being here. The meeting is adjourned. Feel free to go home, close out the meeting, do what you got to do. Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So we got